What's up guys? In today's video I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how to do a trading bot. But this one is actually very interesting. So yeah, first of all, let me tell you one thing. This this trading bot comes from this community which I am creating. This is the community of my course. As you can see, this is one of the exercises that I put. This is in Spanish, but yeah, there will be another community in English. But yeah, this is the community and you can see that I put a lot of exercises. We are not many, but yeah, this is the thing that you get whenever you get my course. So if you truly want to learn MQL5 and you want to learn how to create trading bots, I encourage you to come here and just learn how to do that, because you have the course and then you have this server in which you have more information. But yeah guys, enough spam, let me do the bot right now. So okay, the first thing that we have to do as always is to open MT5. Once we have this open, what we are going to do is that we are going to come here to the IDE, and here, this has been opened in my other screen. Here we have the same menu as always. You click here on new, then this and other screen will show up, which is what do you want, expert advisor. We are going to give it a name. We are going to call this special bot. Well, exercise bot, because it comes from an exercise of the community, exercise bot. And yeah, next, finish, and that's it. We are going to delete all this and let's start. First of all, let me explain a little bit how is the bot going to work. We can actually ignore this indicator and the bot is quite simple. What it does is that whenever the price changes, I don't know, for example, 100 points, in 1 second, for example, it can be a frequency of 10 seconds, a frequency of 1 minute. Whenever there's a big change in a specific amount of time, we are going to open a position. So we are going to do that. Also, we are going to add a trailing stop to that. So yeah, guys, how do we do this? Again, we come back to the editor and we have to initialize several things. First of all, we are going to need the library to to create trades. So here we put trade.mqh, and here we are going to declare right now the class which will allow us to open trades. That's it. Now we are going to set also some input parameters so that the user can choose whatever they want. So for example, we are going to put here a threshold, so that if we move a specific amount of points, we open that position. So for example, this threshold is going to be, I don't know, 10 points. Then we are going to have here a rhythm. So this rhythm says how many seconds do we want to check if there has been a big change or not. So for example, we can do this. We can put here a 1 and we are going to say that every second we want to check if there has been a big change. If so, we are going to open a position. Okay, the next thing is that we are going to set the number of the take profit. For example, this can be 30 points, and the number for the stop loss, that can be, for example, 30 points. That's it. And actually, let's put here 60. That's it, perfect. Now, also, we need a distance for the trailing stop. So here we are going to put something like distance, and the distance is going to be 15 points. So whenever the trailing stop moves, well, the price moves in a position, then the stop loss is going to be 15 points below that. Okay, so what we are actually going to do right now is to put here some comments so that this is more clear. So this is going to be the threshold for the price change. Okay, this is the rhythm for the updates. Okay, this is the take profit points. Now this is the stop loss points. This is the stop loss points. And finally, this is the distance for the trailing stop. This is the distance for the trailing stop. That's it. Trailing stop. Perfect. So now we are also going to need some variables because we need to check some things. As I said, whenever there's a big enough price change, we are going to open a position. in order to check that change, we need to store the previous price. So what we're going to do is that here, we are going to put here previous price. This is the variable, which is going to be initialized to 0. And then this one is going to be the actual price, which is going to be initialized to 0 as well. Okay, now we need an array to store the closest, the last prices of the candles. Perfect. So now we need to initialize all this information, all this data. How? We are going to use the onInit event. So here in this event, what we are actually going to do is that first of all, we are going to initialize this array so that we can access that easily. And then here we are going to put true. That's it. Okay, now that we have this array initialized, what we are going to do is that we are going to actually update these two values. So for example, the previous price is going to be, well, first of all, sorry, I forgot, I have to load the information of that array in that array. So we are going to copy the closest, copy close, that's it, of the current symbol of the current period. Then we are going to come here in the last candle. So the starting position is the last candle, and we want two values, and we are going to store that in the closest array. Now that we have this, what we are going to do is that the previous price is going to be closest one, and the actual price is the last price. So the last price is closest 0. That's it. Perfect. So now we have to set the timer so that we update and we check the prices on that rhythm that we established. So for example, we are going to do here event set timer, and we have to actually use this because this is what it has. Well, this variable is the one that has the rhythm that we have set. So now that we have this, what we need to do is to actually create all the logic. So on every second, one function is going to be called. Which function? The function is called onTimer, which is another event. So now, after calling this, on every rhythm, for example, 2 seconds, 1 second, this function is going to be called. So here we have to check if there is a difference, and if that difference is above the threshold. If so, we are going to open a buy. In this video, we are just going to open a buy, and I don't want to make this a lot of, very complex. So yeah, how do we check that? First of all, we need to again update these values. So we are going to take all this, we take it, we put it here, perfect. And now let's compute the movement. So we have here this variable, and what we're going to do is that, okay, we take the actual price minus the previous price, and then we divide this by the value of a point. What does this mean? This is going to give us the movement in points so that we can compare that to this and to see if we have moved that amount of points. So now that we have here, now that we have this here, what we are actually going to do is that we are going to say, okay, if the movement is above the threshold, then we actually have to open a position. So we are going to open a buy, and for a buy we need the ask. That's it. So how do we get the ask? It's been a long time since I do videos. So the ask, we get that by calling symbol info double. So what does this need? So we put this here, and it gets first of all the symbol name, and then the symbol ask or symbol bid. What do we want? We want the symbol ask. Okay. So now remember that this can return a lot of decimals, and that can be a huge problem. So how do we fix that problem? We fix that by calling this function called normalized double. So we are going to say, hey, I want just this amount of digits. That's it. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have the price, we can open a position. So here we are going to put trade buy. And for example, we are going to put here lotage, that's it. Then we are going to put symbol, and finally we are going to put the current price, and the stop loss is going to be SL points below. Remember that this stop loss is established here by the user. We multiply that by the amount of points, And then the take profit is going to be above, so it is take profit points, that variable that we have stored here, by the value of a point in this market. That's it. Perfect. So the base of the bot is already finished. What we need to do right now is to create the trailing stop. And it's actually something very simple. It's just one function. So how do we do this function? First of all, it's not going to return anything. And we are going to call this trailing stop. That's it. So what we need is that we are going to say, okay, for int equal to 0, I less than positions total, we are going to do one thing. And guess what? What are we going to do here? What we are actually going to do is that we are going to go through all the positions so that we check if this position needs to move the stop loss or not. We are going to do that. How do we do this? First of all, we need the ticket of the position we want to modify. How? Long ticket is going to be equal to position get ticket. That's it, as simple as that. And indeed, we just have to send this index. So we put that here, perfect. And now we are going to put position select by ticket, because we need to select the position, and we send the ticket we just have loaded. Perfect. We now have the position selected in the memory. So what we can do is to get the previous stop loss, previous SL stop loss. And how do we get this? Position get double, and here we are going to say position stop loss. Perfect. Now we want the take profit, position get double, and here we have TP, position TP, the take profit. And finally, we want the current price. How do we get the current price? We could actually use this closest array, but we can do it in another way so that we learn how. And is by calling again position get double, and here you have position price current. As simple as that. So now it is time to check if the current price of this position, if the current price of this position is above the previous stop loss plus the distance that we established, we are going to multiply this by the value of a point, then we have to do one thing, which is modify the position modify. So we send the ticket, here we have ticket, and now we send the new stop loss. So the new stop loss is the current price minus the distance, so that it is always below. So this is distance by the amount of points, well, the value of a point in this market. And now here we are going to send the current take profit, so that the take profit is still there. So we are going to compile. Let's see if we have any errors. No mistakes, everything is perfect. And what we are going to do right now is to come back to the MT5. Here we are going to select that bot. If I'm not wrong, I don't remember how did I call that bot, exercise bot. So we are going to look for exercise bot. Here it is. Okay, for example, let's choose the EUR/USD to test this. And remember, here you have the parameters that we have set. So here we have the threshold for the price change, the rhythm of the updates. So it is going to be 1 second. And one thing I forgot is that I forgot to use this function. So where do I use this function? For example, I can use another event called onTick. So whenever there is a tick in the price, so whenever there's a price change, what I'm going to do is that, hey, use the function trailing stop to check if you have to modify some positions. Okay, we compile again. We are here, and remember the rhythm of the days, take profit points, stop loss points, distance for the trailing stop, and basically we have everything we need. So now we are going to click start. This has been opened in my other screen. Let me bring it here, and here you have this. So you can see, okay, there are a lot of positions because this is each second. So you can see that this actually opens position, but the thing that you have to check is that this moves the price. So let me make this go slower and check how if the price goes down, this doesn't move, but if the price goes up, the stop loss is going to move, as you can see. If the price goes up, check that out. that stop loss is moving. Well, now they closed off all the positions, but yeah, that's how the bot works. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As you can see, it's something very simple. And remember, here you have my course, well, my community. And the way to get to this community is to access the course. How do we access the course? First of all, go to Google. And then here, you are going to look for komaku.es. Also, one thing that I want to tell you, this is going to be in the description, and here you have the course. So you come, you check that out, and this is the course. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, give it a like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one.